Charles Pfister was one of the most gifted designers of the 20th century. He was a modernist and an immensely creative mind.
Charlie had a great combination of exuberance and refinement, and it always kept ideas fresh, and it always kept people motivated.
Charles had impeccable taste. He really had a great eye for taste on every level.
I mean, he was certainly about elegance, and he was about kind of the lasting quality of design. We were creating the antiques of what people would collect at some point in the future.
He was a natural. He was, to me, sort of a really rare individual who could be both intuitive and methodical and detailed at the same time. He really could hone in quickly on what the right answer was, and he could talk almost any client into going along for the ride. It was magic. It was amazing.
Charlie knew exactly what he wanted, and as soon as he saw something, he knew exactly what he wanted to say, exactly what was wrong with it, exactly how it should be modified, and that was it. It was very spontaneous with Charlie.
He studied architecture at Berkeley. He opened his own office when he got out of school. Shortly thereafter, he was hired at SOM, where he stayed for 20 years. He was one of the youngest senior partners they ever made, and when he wanted to become a general partner, they told him to get married. So he left. Imagine insisting your head of interiors be straight. So Charlie described his design philosophy as opulence without waste, meaning that you can have a level of luxury without being fussy. Charlie achieved opulence with luxurious materials used with great discipline. So unlike many modernists, he wasn't afraid of things like Fortuny fabric or Venetian glass or luxurious fabrics and leathers and highly polished metals. But the way he used them was highly disciplined, so they never came off as gaudy, they never came off as too much, and yet there was a very evident richness.
He could put things together that complemented each other so beautifully, whether it was colors or textures, how he used lighting, whether the light fixture was a decorative element or the light was just the ambient quality of the light within the space.
If you don't get the lighting right, then you might as well just give up. And lighting is a very sophisticated art. It is not specifying fixture types. And that's something I learned right off the bat from Charles.
It really is about a richness in a simple way that is so difficult to do.
So every once in a while, you'd get these memos land on your desk, and they were called fact of life memos. One of those fact of lives might be, "Thou shalt not miter a bullnose trim," which actually is a true story.
Charlie was passionate about details and quality of construction. He would go to huge lengths to find the best person to weave a carpet or create a millwork wall, do the metal work, the stone work. He didn't care if you had to lug the bathtub from halfway around the world. It had to be the perfect stone, perfectly carved, and be just as comfortable as it was beautiful to look at. He had an incredible eye for detail and quality, and he never tired of looking at things and traveling further to see more.
And he was sort of fearless when it came to trying to look at things in a different way.
To look at every aspect of life in a space, whether it's a commercial space or a house, was one of his gifts. He was very, very perceptive about how people will use a space because he loved to entertain. He loved to create a work environment that functioned as smoothly as a Swiss watch.
His goal was to make the thing work, to make the thing significant, to make it beautiful, to make it more than what the client was expecting.
What I really learned from him was really a sense of quality, and that quality wasn't about adding more things to a design, but really being able to take away everything you possibly could from it, but to still have the result feel very rich.
What Charlie taught me, I guess, was to be persistent, to keep at it, to keep your high ideals and your high expectations of the work that you're doing, and to fight for it.
Why are we talking about Charles now in 2014? And you know, it's certainly not a retro revisit. It's not what's old is new again. I think one of the main things about the office's work is a timelessness.
I absolutely think he made quite an indelible mark on the history of design. He was a mentor and a trainer and a coach. Charles's vision is being carried out by many people today.